Rev up your engines!
Well, Tesla's at it again. They're slashing prices because they can't sell their car. Model Y and Model 3 just got new fresh price cuts because people aren't buying them, so they're lowering the price. The Model 3 cheapest one is $2,000 less. It's now $38,000. The Model 3 long range is $47,000 instead of $49,000. And the Model 3 Performance, their fast Model 3 that goes 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds, that's cut down $3,000 almost to $50,900. Why are they doing it? Because they're not selling. As I have predicted, and I can tell you, I've been in the car business long enough, 56 years. All cars, when they come out as new, if they're popular, people buy them. But then they hit a glass ceiling. And the people that want those cars have already bought them. And then they're stuck with, we have to get people to buy these cars. People that wanted them paid more than they should have because they were all nuts. I got to get one. I'll pay, blah, blah. Right? Well, those days are over. The land of milk and honey for electric cars is rapidly disappearing as other companies are making models. As people who've tried out electric cars, and I've seen quite a few, who said, after a year or two, I hate this. Then they get rid of it and you get a normal car. There's all kinds of factors involved. And the only reason this clown is lowering the prices is because people aren't buying the cars. And it's going to get worse as time goes on. I can guarantee you that because there's so many people that aren't interested in electric cars. And if they make them and people don't buy them, they're going to be a real quandary. And of course, the horse manure flies. General Motors says, we're going to be a real electric. All these cars we build are going to be electric. Okay, the last quarter of this year, they sold 20,000 electric cars, but they sold 674,000 cars, GM. So it's telling you, don't listen to their horse manure. Follow the money. They're selling gas and diesel vehicles. They're not selling electric vehicles. And since all Tesla makes those electric vehicles, they got to drop their price if they want to sell the things. Here's some humor. While Tesla's lowering the price of their cars, Ford is raising the prices of their 150s, their F-150s pickup trucks. That's where they make their profit, right? And people buy them. So Ford is just being scumbags and saying, let's charge them more. What the heck? They're buying them. The entry-level F-150 is jumping $2,735. And the Raptor R is going up $2,404. They're raising their prices, right? We are making more money ourselves, right? But they keep raising their prices because they're selling them. They're like Tesla in its prime when they were the mainly only electric car company and they kept raising their price and fools bought them, so they kept raising their prices. But now they're not buying, so the price is going down. But Ford, of course, being a greedy company, most of their profit comes from the F-150, so they're just raising the price. Now, I almost had sticker shock when a customer came to me when I was in Tennessee. He ended up buying a used Ram truck because he said, I went to look at the loaded Ford F-150 I wanted, and it was $80,000. So he said, so I bought this used loaded Ram instead for $24,000. The top trim Platinum Plus model of the F-150 is $84,000. Now, they might get people to buy them now, but I can guarantee you in the near future, people aren't going to be paying that kind of money. Unless inflation gets that bad and a loaf of bread costs us $300, maybe it will get that bad. Who knows? But Ford is showing their greed again. They keep talking about, we're going to Farley's, their CEO, Jim Farley. We're going to fix our quality control. And meanwhile, this year, again, they're leading the world in recalls because of their poor quality control. And then let's charge more for the F-150s. Hey, we make a lot of money. Let's make even more. Let's gouge our own customers. Well, a lot of them are going to be like a customer of mine in Tennessee. He thought, I'm not paying $84,000 for a pickup truck. I want a loaded truck. So he bought a used loaded Ram for $24,000. And they're going to find out they're going to lose a lot of their clientele charging that kind of money. After all, look, these aren't Rolls Royces. These aren't Porsches. These are Ford F-150 pickups. $84,000. It's patently absurd. Concerned dad said, I got a 2004 Honda Accord. It has a thumping noise coming from the front end. I have had both front hub bearings replaced, both rotors, front tires and rims. Turning test didn't get clicking, popping, grinding, or increased thumping. The thumping starts at about 20 and goes all the way to 80. It's more prevalent when I decelerate. Doesn't matter what gear I'm in. Okay, if you notice you get a thumping more when decelerating? I'm guessing drive shafts. When you're accelerating, it goes one way. When you decelerate, there's a little back pressure on your front axles, and if the CV joints are worn, you will get a thumping noise. Because you said it's more pronounced when you decelerate, and that's when the torque is going back. Instead of forward torque, you're decelerating, there's a little backwards torque, and that will make it thump. Now, unfortunately, if it's not your axles, that's relatively cheap. You can get brand new aftermarket axles for that old thing for like 89 bucks a piece. There's only 2 of them, right? That's what I would try first. But if it's not that, then it's probably inside your transmission, because when you decelerate and get thumping, it has to do with the drivetrain. And if it's not the axles, you're ready to change the wheel bearings, all that, it probably is internal to the transmission. And it is. I mean, an 04 Honda Accord, they are notorious for having somewhat weak transmissions. But pray it's just the axles, the CV joints, because it often will be. Try that first. Raymond BR38 says, I got issues with my front wheels. When I move my steering wheel, I hear creaking, popping sounds from the axle ball joint area. What should I replace first? Well, don't guess, test. What you want to do is watch my video, how to check out your own car suspension system, Scotty. Type that in YouTube, watch the video. Do all those tests. Now, if it is your ball joint, what you can do is a lot of times the ball joints only make the noise under a load when the weight of the car is. So what you do is you jack it up and get a long pry bar, put it between the lower ball joint and the control arm, pull on it up and down. If you pull on it and you see it go clunka, clunka, pop, that means the ball joint's bad. Now, tie rods, when they wear, it's real easy. You jack it up. When you pull the wheel, it goes clunk, clunk like that, and you'll see the tie rods moving. You need a new tie rod head, right? But ball joints often will only start doing that popping under a load, and so when you jack it up in the air, of course, it's not under a load, and you're loading it by getting a big pry bar, putting it under there and pulling on it. If it goes clunka, clunka, then you need ball joints. So it could easily be ball joints. But test. Don't just waste your money guessing with parts. Test it. If it's a ball joint, you'll get the popping when you get a big pry bar after you jack it up and pull on it, and you'll see it pop, and you'll know you need a ball joint. Beckmax says, I got a question about odometer rollback. I got a used 2020 Volkswagen Jetta with 39,000 miles. But the Carfax that I just noticed said it read 49,500. Even though the odometer says 39,000. Do you think somebody did something? Is it inaccurate? Was there a mistake made? It could have easily been some idiot wrote the wrong number down. It could have been that. But here's what you can do. It's a Volkswagen Jetta. The odometer reading is hidden inside the computer system. Find a guy like me. We get our fancy scan tool and we hook it up, and we'll see what the real mileage is. And that will solve that problem. On a 2020 Volkswagen, they're modern enough. They got all that data in, and then it would show what the mileage is. Now, let's say it was 139,000 then. You go back and sue the person that you bought it from. That's fraud. They can't sell you a vehicle that's got fake mileage on it. And everything's electronic these days. It can be changed electronic. Computer geeks can change odometers. You know, back in the day when they were mechanical, it was a pain taking them apart and faking it. But today it's electronic. And electronic computer nerds, they can do anything with those things. They can knock them, reprogram them to make the reading be different, or they can even go to a junkyard, buy a used dash, throw that in, and it'll have lower mileage. Lots of things can happen, but the computer will have it on it. Find a guy like me, hook up his fancy Volkswagen scan tool, and he'll tell you what the real mileage is on it. Eslar08 says, I live in United Arab Emirates, and I'm thinking about buying a used Suzuki Vitara. Are they reliable? Are they okay? I want something that gets good gas mileage. What do you think? Okay, well, good thing you told me where you are, because if you're in the United States, I'd say don't buy one of those things. You can't get parts. Nobody works on them. You're in the United Arab Emirates. Many places sell Suzukis, and people like them. I went to the British Virgin Islands. Almost all the little SUVs were Suzukis, and they were fine. People knew where to get parts. People knew how to work on them because there were a zillion of them there, right? Plus, the British Virgin Islands at the time, it's like 2.5 miles wide and maybe 20 miles long. So you don't put that many miles on them and they don't wear out that fast, right? For you, it might not be a bad idea. Go ahead, have a mechanic check it out, see if it's a good car. But since you live somewhere where there are people who know how to work on it, go right ahead. But in the United States, you'd be nuts to buy one unless you want just a toy to drive around on weekends and park it in your garage most of the time, because you could never get parts for it. And you're going to find, unless you're going to fix it yourself, one, where are you going to get the parts from? And two, if you don't fix it yourself, hardly anybody will even touch those Suzukis, because they know. I start working on a stupid thing. I need a part. I can't get the part. I try to get information on repairs. I can't get any information on repairs. And then they just say, I don't work on those things. Apollo 2113 says, should I buy this 26-year-old pickup? I'm looking at a 97 Ford F-250 automatic gas. It has 170,000 miles, and it's mostly, well, just cosmetics with small fixes. All right, you didn't say what the price was. They were well made back in the day. But you got to realize three things. It's a 97, right? So it's old as the hills. It's pushing 30 years old. All the rubber seals will probably start leaking. But if you can get it cheap enough, and it's going to be a knock-around car, so you're going to put it out in the country, use it for a hunting truck or whatever, check it out, or have a mechanic check it out, drive it around. If it drives okay and shifts okay, why not? You know? Just realize, okay, it's an F-250, 97. It's a tremendous gas hog. That thing's going to suck gas down like no tomorrow. If it's a vehicle you're going to buy, you're going to put 20, 30,000 miles a year and find something else. It's going to cost you a fortune, plus it's going to break putting high mileage like that on an old truck. But if you want a cool old truck that you can fix forever, go ahead and get it. If it runs okay and shifts okay, go ahead. You get sick of it, somebody else will buy it from you. Everybody loves those old trucks. As long as the frame isn't rotten, crawl under, hit the frame with a hammer. If it goes ding, 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 great. If it goes crunch, 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 and it's rotting away, don't buy it. It's useless if the frame's rotted out. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.